Hello everybody, welcome to the House Church video. We're winding down our Revelation series. It is an up week, so before we get into the text and what we learned from Revelation 19, let me remind you that part of the up week is to share with each other who you're praying for about coming to know Jesus or coming to church. And as you pray, you'll know the joy of seeing those people be introduced to Him over the next months and years. Specific to Revelation 19, kind of a funny week for preparation for myself, getting ready for this sermon here in Portage and Dauphin and Dryden, and chatting with Owen, who's preached the sermon in Neepawa, because we had this kind of pressure to make sense of a very densely packed text. And you're like, no kidding, it's Revelation. It's all been kind of densely packed with images and apocalyptic ideas. This one especially, though, because it's a summary of a lot of the book, was really loaded with it. But where we've kind of gone, or maybe I should just speak for myself, is sort of my aha moment. So this would be my, our question was, let's start with the question, as we do. The question was, how do we make sense of all of this, this dense imagery? And we lived in that a lot. And I say that because your temptation might still be, even at this stage of the book, to be like, oh, what does that mean? What does that equal? When is that happening? And it's kind of amusing to me that even after preaching through the book in a very different way than that for many weeks, my tendency can still be to not want to take the book on its own terms and make it into something that it isn't. That was my question. How do we unpack all of this? My light bulb came when I had this realization that, oh, right, it's the revelation of Jesus, by Jesus, for Jesus, and so therefore I should look for Jesus in this text because He's the most important part. And then when you ask that question, when you have that light bulb moment, I'm kind of fuddling the question in the light bulb, but when you have that aha moment, then you kind of go, oh, wow, okay, in this chapter, then most of it is about Jesus. And the summary is really around Him. And we see some things that we've seen before in Jesus that have a little more punch to them, a little more brightness to them, and we see some brand new things. So my aha moment was when I saw the beauty of Jesus. Specifically, my aha moment was when Owen reminded me in our sermon planning meeting that Jesus's robes are dipped in blood before the battle. That means He's coming to this battle as a lamb, that the blood is His own. When he said that, I just had this kind of holy shudder. I was like, Jesus, who are you? You're so magnificent. And the rest of the description is just as good. Hopefully you felt some of that on Sunday. So my conviction is to resist the weirdness of chronology and these images of war and kind of the more gruesome stuff. You still notice that and you have to pay attention to it, but my conviction is that is not the main thing. Revelation is about showing how Jesus is breaking in, and He's always present, and He's magnificent. My conviction is that after every sermon on Revelation, every time I read the book of Revelation, I should begin that sermon or reading with my love for Jesus about here, and then Revelation should stoke my fire so that my love feels like it's about here. And I hope that happened for you last Sunday. Grace and peace, everyone.